Hey guys, this video is a fun, constructive, New Year's resolution-y kind of video. The best news is it comes with instant gratification. It's not one of those things you have to work on for a really long time to see a result. So the beauty industry is always pumping out images of ultra glamorous, super styled people for us to consume. We all know that these images result from hours of preparation from professional teams of makeup artists, hairstylists, nutritionists, personal trainers, and fashion gurus. The thing about all of these people is that somewhere along the line, they learned about a subject and now they are considered experts because they practiced and practiced and practiced. Their impressive skill sets result from effort that literally anyone with an artistic eye, determination, and focus, and consistency really too, can develop. So what do we do if we have unglamorous jobs and very routine, normal lives, but we want to feel beautiful and cared for in the same way? We elevate our personal maintenance rituals and raise our baseline physical maintenance practices to new levels. Beauty takes time and it takes effort, but streamlining your routine and making it automatic is the easiest way to keep your standards super high and feel awesome in your skin all the time. The first step in any plan is objective. Figure out, what are you going for? You can organize this however you want to, but it might be easiest to grab a piece of paper and a pen, or for most people, open a note in your phone and break it down into categories. So the way that I chose to organize it was by breaking down each category and then specifying how often each ritual needs to be done to come up with this automatic routine we're talking about. For your inspiration and organizational purposes, I'm going to give you my breakdown. And since we all have human bodies, hopefully it can help you pick out the things you want to work on and make adjustments according to whatever works for you and your goals. So I'm going to tell you each one of my categories. I'm going to start with the goal of what I want to achieve. And then I'm going to tell you what that will involve daily, weekly, monthly, and then a few times a year if there's something in that category. So let's get started with skincare because I know that's a very hot topic for a lot of people, especially on YouTube. So my skin goal is I want clear skin that is as breakout and wrinkle free as possible. I want it to be super bright and glowy. How am I going to achieve that? So the routine would look something like this. Daily, I will resolve to wash my face every morning and double cleanse at night, meaning if I'm wearing makeup, I'll use a makeup remover as my first step, wash everything off. And then my second step is washing my face. And the makeup removers I use are melters and oil-based removers. Secondly, I will wear sunscreen every single day. I don't want to hear about how dark you are and how much melanin you have that you don't need to wear sunscreen. The bottom line is the sun's rays age your skin, and the absolute #1 best way to not age terribly is to prevent the loss of collagen. So every single person, no matter your skin tone, if you're going in the sun at all, you should make sure that your moisturizer contains an SPF. We're talking about skincare. I think the daily routine is a really important topic because skincare is just not one size fits all. I think it's important to do a little bit of research and make sure that you're using daily skincare ingredients that contribute directly to the results that you're looking for, and not just the results of someone you follow or of a friend who recommended them to you who did the research on their own. Just make sure that you're paying attention to your specific needs. For me now, I spot treat with retinol, which is, for those of you who don't know, just a very, very concentrated form of vitamin A that boosts cell turnover. Retinol was an awesome thing for me to add to my skincare routine these past couple of months because I'm prone to hormonal breakouts on my chin, which I've mentioned before, and I can't not pop them when I see them, so gross, sorry. I get these little dark marks on my chin, and when I use retinol, they fade so quickly. And also I use it on my forehead to prevent the formation of wrinkles, especially here and above here. I'm not gonna pretend I made up this joke, but you know the memes that are like, if you know who Chucky Finster is, then you need to be using an eye cream. It's like it's like that, girls and guys, if you were watching the Rugrats, or if you can name all the characters on Full House, especially if you can name the actors, not just their characters in the show, you need to be using retinol at least a few times a week. I also know that my skincare routine must have an intensive moisturizer, and I don't use really heavy oils that I used to use because they clog my pores. So every moisturizer has a different molecule size, which is why your skin sometimes, if you put something super oily on it, doesn't even absorb it because the molecules are too large and your pores aren't absorbing them. So I think the key is to figure out what type of moisturizer works best for you. And I use gel ones, but they're not hydrating enough in the winter. So I rely on gel moisturizers in the summer, but in the winter, I make sure that I use heavier creams that my skin can just drink up and I wake up with this glowy, happy face. Also, I want you guys to be more critical, so don't just be consumers and hear that something's good and keep buying it, buying it, buying it. When you buy skincare products, pay attention to results, and you can do that by doing a good experiment, which is getting rid of any confounding variables. So when you introduce something new, make sure that nothing else is new. Don't bring in a new serum and a new toner and a new moisturizer in the same time, because if you get irritated, you won't know what caused it, and you just want to make sure you're doing one new thing at a time and you can observe if there are any changes. Just take a before and after photo if that helps you. There are so many videos that are like, you need to use a 10-step skincare, and I don't think that's true for everyone, but if you guys are interested, I am happy to walk you through my nighttime skincare routine or my daytime or both. So let's get to the next increment, weekly. My weekly skincare isn't too complicated. The things that I focus on are masking based on needs. So normally I will do a clay mask in my T-zone and then also on my chin to absorb any excess oils and make sure that my skin is not looking drab from pollution. It really just helps purge anything toxic, and then I use a heavy moisturizing agent after that on my whole face. So usually that'll be a CBD mask or an avocado-based mask, or I'll make one myself in the kitchen. There's so many different ways to moisturize your skin, and there's so many skin-loving ingredients that you probably already have at home. My other weekly skincare objective that I need to keep up with involves hair removal, and I probably told you way more than you ever care to know about hair removal if you watched my 3 skincare tips to master video that I released a couple months ago. But I am prone to body hair, so every single week I need to make sure that I'm waxing, tweezing, threading, shaving, whatever needs to be taken care of. And I think knowing that I'm gonna do it on a weekly basis, I usually just do it every Thursday night when I get back from running outside. And I don't even think about it, because the idea here is that the more automatic these things are, the less time you spend saying, should I shave my leg today? 3 hours later, should I shave my leg today? 4 hours, like, you're just wasting time. So if you do these kinds of things as a ritual, you take out the guesswork and you just automatically do it, and you're saving your RAM space for other activities. So a monthly skincare regimen for me is to do a deep facial, and I usually do them myself. I will cleanse my whole face really well, then I'll steam my face, do a very gentle exfoliant, and do some extractions. But I'm not that good at doing extractions. I need to get better. I just can't stand the videos watching people pop their pimples, because they usually pick the most gargantuan, unreal pimples. I've never even seen anything like them in real life, but I need to get better at it, because I did learn in a recent facial I got before going on vacation that if you pop your pimples incorrectly, you actually make the breakout worse, because the sebum and bacteria trapped under your skin will travel deeper into the pore and kind of get closed in under scar tissue. So you need to make sure if you pop pimples, you do it right and with minimal damage to the surrounding tissue. Either you can watch a ton of tutorials and get really good at it, make sure you're doing it with clean fingers, obviously, or a tool. Or you could just schedule a monthly facial, get a package, and go to a professional, and the results are usually always better. Then you need to think about a skincare routine that you're willing to take on a few times a year just to keep up maintenance. So I know some people like fillers, some people like different things. For me, I decided this year I'm going to start doing Botox in my forehead, just a little bit, maybe 3 times a year, to prevent the really deep lines that accumulate over time. For those of you who don't know how Botox works, it's really just a paralytic agent that keeps a muscle from moving so that you're atrophying the muscle, because when you make the same facial movement so many times, your skin gets creased in the areas where the muscle is very strong and keeps pushing. This is a very simplified explanation, but basically the Botox just keeps the muscle from moving, and that creasing won't happen. So if you already have deep set wrinkles, Botox isn't gonna fix them. It's gonna prevent new ones, but it's not gonna fix the old ones. But if you don't yet have wrinkles and you see them starting to form, for example, if you knit your eyebrows together and get really intense 11 in the middle, that something Botox can keep from turning into something really permanent. I'm sure you've noticed older people have wrinkles even when they're not moving their face because the crease is set. And that's what I don't want to happen. So I'm telling you guys very openly that this year is my year that I'm getting Botox on my forehead. And that's just for me. I like the smooth look. There's some people who like to age totally naturally, and power to you. I think whatever commitment you take on, you just have to make sure that you can keep up with it, because otherwise it's not worth the investment. So let's move on to hair resolutions. My hair goal, when I close my eyes and say, what kind of hair do I want to bring to myself, the secret? When I close my eyes and picture what I want, I see long, healthy, thick, dark, sleek, shiny hair. And I have thick hair, so we checked that off. My hair's kind of healthy. I've played with it, but it's always been problematic in that it's very frizzy. So what can I do? I need a routine. I know that frizz really comes from damage, so what I do to my hair, or really what I don't do on a day-to-day basis, is what will make or break whether it can grow in a long, healthy way. Because of that, my daily routine is really not a whole lot. I don't even brush my hair every day. I do just to fix the roots, but there are some days where I will just take a boar bristle brush. That's hard to say, boar bristle brush. It's like boar bristle brush. Say it 3 times fast. Boar bristle brush, boar bristle brush, boar. Okay, I did it. No, I cut myself off before I finished in fear that I couldn't do it. But I'm laughing to myself with only my cat here, but let's just move on. So there are some mornings where I will take a boar bristle brush and just pull the oil from my roots, like as far down my hair shaft as I can, just to distribute the oil. If there is oil, there's some days where I just feel like I don't produce any oil at all, but that's just me. And really what my point here is that if you're growing your hair out, you need to do as little as possible to it on a daily basis, because hair is already dead. There are things you can do to superficially improve the appearance of hair, to seal the hair follicle, make it look nicer, but it's dead already when it leaves your body. It's just dead protein. So the only way to have healthier hair is really how you treat your body, and that's how your hair will look. But then to do as little as possible to your hair as it grows, because it's not gonna recover from the heat. It's not gonna recover when you snap it, when you brush it fast. It's not gonna recover when you brush it wet. You have to consider how you can be as gentle to your hair as possible, unless you have short hair and you cut it a lot and you always have fresh hair to work with. So on a day-to-day basis, I would say either I just pull it back and do nothing to it, or I take a boar bristle brush and I gently brush it from root to tip, and I add a little bit of oil to it if it's too frizzy, just to the ends. In addition to heat, you should really check the ingredients in your hair products, because if they're harmful, and I put a list in my hair video of harmful chemicals to your hair, I can also copy them below, but you should be looking at the ingredients before you apply products to your hair, because so many hair products use very heavy silicones, and when you put them in on that day, your hair is gonna look better, but over time it's gonna dry it out and look way worse. So you should make sure that whatever you're using is also sustainable and working toward your goals. So my weekly hair routine, I have to take care of it. I wash it only once per week, and before I wash it, I do a bond treatment, like Olaplex 3 is my favorite one. Three. And after I wash it, I do a deep conditioning. I use the Shea Moisture, Jamaican castor oil, shea butter stuff, and you will laugh when I tell you how I do it. I get out of the shower, I washed it only with shampoo, also Olaplex, and then I cover my hair in deep conditioner, wrap my whole head in plastic wrap or in a plastic bag and tie it on my head, and leave it for an hour, and then I wash it out. I notice such a difference in my hair. It feels heavier, and it just feels way less dry when I do these steps, and I'm able to do them because I only wash it once per week. And again, ritual. I don't think too much about it, I just do it. In the shower, I do the plastic, and by the time I get out, I'm already in a towel. It's good, 1 hour, rinse it out, and move about my day. Because I only wash my hair once a week, I use that as an opportunity to style it. I wash it on Thursday nights or Friday mornings, because it's right before the weekend, and I wait for it to 90% dry, and then I blow dry my hair with a round brush, and then I go with a hot tool and shape it the way I want to shape it, and then I leave it alone. No more hot tools for a week. For some people, using heat once a week is still a lot. For me, I don't really have a choice because I fight my hair texture, so I have to take that L and then try to be nicer to it in other ways. One of those ways is when I don't have any plans at all and I'm just working out and sitting with friends and going to coffee shops on the weekend, or studying or doing things that are a little more low key, I let it be its natural texture, well, with keratin, but I let it just air dry, and then I take a straightener, just straighten the very front so that I don't look like Chucky Finster. Let's mention him again. And then I just do whatever and try to give my hair a break. I don't like the way I look as much as when I do my hair, but you have to maintain that balance. Also, I mentioned in my hair video that I sleep on a silk pillowcase, and satin works too, just to keep it as smooth and frizz-free as possible. I don't really have any monthly hair rituals that are different than weekly. It would just be 4 times a month implementing my weekly ritual, and then my yearly rituals, a few times a year, are really twice a year, sometimes 3, depending on what I did that year, if I was in the sun a lot or I went in pools and stuff, is to get a keratin treatment. I made a video about keratin and how that works, same thing as a Brazilian blowout. Yes, it's damaging, but for my very snappy, dry hair type, which is having a ton of thin hair, getting keratin is one of the only ways to grow it out, because the keratin coats the hair and keeps it from snapping as much. So it snaps in the process of doing it, but it snaps way less all the months after it. So keratin, and when I get a keratin, I get a trim, and those are the only things I do to my hair. I used to dye it, and it turned into straw, and it's kind of dry, my poor hair. But yeah, you have to really be kind to it and think of what's your goal. So if your goal is short hair, you can play with it, you can do whatever you want, and if it gets super damaged because you're making it blonde, just keep trimming it every 6 weeks. But whatever your goal is, make sure you keep up with it. If your hair is going gray, don't keep dyeing it black or brown or dark unless you plan to make those follow-up appointments to keep up with it. And an easy commitment device for something like that would just be scheduling with the salon automatically or getting a membership and knowing that you're going to go every so often without saying, should I spend the money? I don't know, let me stretch it. Because if you're gonna stretch it, you're gonna not like the way it looks for a while, and that's hard on your confidence too. So let's move on to fitness. My fitness goal for this year, closing my eyes, it's bringing the secret. So I want to tone the upper parts of my arms that my boyfriend jiggles for fun. I want to tone my thighs. I want to lose an inch or 2 off my waist, and I want to maintain everything else because fitness has been a big part of my life for many years. I opened my eyes, the secret is over. So my routine, let's start with daily. Every single morning, I want to do a yoga practice, and it can be 10 minutes, it can be yin, which is the more chill, just stretching yoga. It can be any type of yoga, a flow. If I feel like getting sweaty, I can turn up the heat. It doesn't matter really what I do, because the reason I'm doing the morning yoga is to prep my body to want to work out later. Because you know, when you're tight and you feel achy and lazy, you don't really feel like working out, but yoga gets me so in tune with my body that I'm in the mood to work out later. And it also sets me in a healthy mindset for the day. I'm less likely to make myself French toast for breakfast covered in maple syrup. If I just did a yoga practice, I'm more likely to make oatmeal or a smoothie or something. I think that mindful piece really, really helps so much with achieving your fitness goals. Also, another thing, I just want to do a video about yoga. I think I'm going to do that too, but intention setting is what I do at the end of every yoga class. So I'll just center myself and think of a word that I want for the day. And at the end, when you say namaste, I just say the word over and over. And for me, I often say, I want to be centered, or I want to be grateful, or I want to be positive and productive. And sometimes I'll compound words, because if I just say productive, that could stress me out. So I'll say, I want peaceful productivity. And we can talk all about that in another video, but that daily ritual puts me in a better mental and physical space to be fit all the time. Even if the yoga itself is not the workout that shows the physical results. It also helps prevent injury, so if you're doing it, you're more likely to be able to be faithful to the rest of your fitness regimen without having to take breaks to recover. So every single day, in addition to that morning yoga, 10, 20, 30 minutes, I commit to 40 minutes of vigorous or 90 minutes of low intensity exercise. And that doesn't even need to be in a gym. When I say 90 minutes, you could clean your house for 90 minutes if you are up on your feet and moving, and you look at your Apple Watch. I'm wearing it secretly under my cute dress, but I will look at my Apple Watch after cleaning the house for an hour and a half, and pace I do it, it will burn 300 calories at least, and that's a workout for me. So between those two things, I'm good for that day. But on a normal day, I'll just go outside and run, or I'll go lift with my boyfriend, or I'll do a workout class, and that's plenty. Don't overdo it because you can burn out. My weekly fitness routines So I made a plan that at least 2 of my weekly workouts will be cardio based for fat burning, so I don't just accumulate fat while I'm accumulating muscle, because that's really my body type, to always be kind of muscular and hard. And if I keep eating and keep lifting and I don't do any cardio at all, including not even power walking, I notice that I'm getting thicker, but I maintain the same athletic shape, but I'm getting larger. So the cardio, I think, is what keeps my weekly calorie intake down enough to look the way I like to look. I also, at least once or twice a week, personal train with my boyfriend. That's recent. And that's because he has a different workout style than I do. So I really benefit from the types of workouts he does, because my body's really acclimated to the things that I always make myself do, and I don't really see results anymore. And he lifts in a totally different way, and when I work out with him, I notice the change. So I incorporated that, and I think that will help me reach my goal this year. And I also like to do at least 1 class or 1 other social workout per week, and that kind of adds a social incentive to achieving your fitness goals. You could say the same for monthly. If you think it's unrealistic to commit to once a week, you could say, I'm gonna go to a group fitness class, or I'm gonna sign up to something that I won't get my money back if I don't go. So I go and work out with a group of people. And that could be so much fun that you don't even realize you're working out. And then a few times per year, I think for me, it's really just staying on track. I think a few times per year, I have to check in with myself, see how I'm feeling, weigh in, check myself out, and see how things have changed. Is that extra cookie I eat after lunch every day causing me to gain weight over time? From a very non-judgmental place, but just saying, hey, how's my body doing? And those types of things help you adjust to your needs, because our needs are ever changing. Speaking of needs, if you notice anything weird physically when you're tuned in and paying attention to your body, go see a specialist. Nothing wrong with that. Especially if you notice anything digestively, or you're getting bloated a lot, or you're cramping, or you notice you're retaining a ton of weight around your midsection you never used to. It could be hormonal, it could be thyroid, it could be a gastrointestinal issue. You don't know. So if you're suspicious when you do this check-in with yourself, go schedule an appointment. Worst thing, you pay a small copay if you have insurance, and you can check it off your list and not worry about it. Moving to the last and final category, which might be my favorite one, and that is style. So my style goal for this year is that I want to dress in a way that makes me proud of the way I look, even when no one is around. And that's the kicker. That's the important thing. So routine, daily. I promised myself that I will pick out a stylish, color-coordinated outfit that is appropriate for whatever I need to do that day. Working from home has been a big killer for me in the style category, because I still take care of myself, my skin, my hair, whatever, but I found that not leaving the house every day has caused me to sit around in the same comfy sweatshirts and sweatpants, and I didn't even own these things a couple of years ago. I bought my first t-shirt for myself during quarantine. Before that, every t-shirt I ever owned was from playing a sport or being in a club or something like that, going to like a bar mitzvah. But I got rid of those all over time because they're frumpy, and when I look at myself in it, I don't like the way I look. It's hard to make a stylish outfit out of them because they're fundamentally not stylish pieces. So I never bought those for myself, but during quarantine, I was stealing my boyfriend's clothing a lot, and then I was like, what if I own t-shirts? So I went to Zara and I bought cute ones. They're cute, okay, they're cute, but they're not as cute as just a plain basic tank top that fits correctly. So when I wear clothing that doesn't fit correctly, I find that it really breaks down my mood. And sitting around in mismatched sweatsuits all the time actually negatively impacts my happiness. So my resolution for this year is, even though I think we're going to be remote again all year, and I'm not wearing a suit or a dress like I used to every single day to go to the office, I'm going to still, as if I was going somewhere, lay out an outfit, and I'm not talking super cute or something I need to get dry cleaned, of course. Nobody likes that. But I'm talking about, if I wear leggings, they better match the top, and I'm gonna wear a cute little yoga jacket. I'm gonna be a person and not a sloth, because that makes me happy. And being put together is something I take pride in. So I need to make that effort for my own well-being. And yes, it is effort, and the idea of not doing it is cutting back on effort, but the way it makes me feel is not worth it. It's like maybe I saved 15 or 20 minutes getting ready in the morning, but then I had to drink stress tea later in the day because I'm just stressed out by feeling like a slob or my mood is down. I think it does make a big difference. And I think you'll feel it if you try it. If you're really ambitious, you could even put on real pants at home. And honestly, I think it helps with everything too, because you don't want to overeat when you're wearing real clothes. When you're wearing sweats, you're like, I don't have a body. I can just go to town, and it does help keep you in the zone. So dressing nicely is part of my natural peace, part of my natural environment, and that goes for any time of day. So let's say I wore comfy jeans and a sweater during the day when I was home by myself, and then night rolls around. I am a person who buys cute pajamas. I have a lot of them. So why is it that every single time my boyfriend leaves something behind, that's the first thing I'm gonna wear? Why? Because it's big, it's comfy. I look sloppy at it. It's not made for me. So even though a lot of times when I get out of the shower, I wanna wear the giant crew neck sweatshirt that comes down just above my knees, I notice that if I put on a matching pajama set and just put my hair in a little bun or whatever, I feel like I'm having a better day. If you own cute pajamas, I want you to wear them tonight. Tell me in the comments how you feel, because I swear it's a difference. And I already know that this is a thing because I had the opposite transformation. I didn't go from dressing badly to dressing well. I went from dressing well to dressing badly. And there was a marked difference in the way that I talk to myself even when I look in the mirror. Like if I walk and see my reflection in the mirror and I'm wearing a giant gray shirt with a Care Bear on it, I see myself and I'm like, I'm like, you're all right. But when I see myself and I'm wearing a cute little printed pink, something like this, I don't know, I feel better. And I feel like I deserve to have a good day. I'm gonna move on from this. Just don't be a frumpy dumpy human. Be the you that you wanna recognize. If you are one of those people saving fashion posts on your Instagram and making a board, please do yourself a favor and match your joggers to your workout top, to your socks, to your whatever you're wearing on top of it. And let me know how much better you feel working from home tomorrow. So weekly, I committed to myself that I will dress extra special, and for you, whatever that means to you, something you like that you own, once a week on the weekends, because that's self-care. Monthly, I promise at least monthly to wear something in my closet that I think of as date or vacation level attire, like something really beautiful. And I told myself that that's because I worked hard to earn the money to buy that clothing, and it should be on my body instead of hanging in my closet all the time so I can admire it like a museum. Even if the places you go aren't that fancy or your friends like to wear the same t-shirts all the time, if you like fashion and it does it for you, wear something that you feel amazing in at least once a month. Okay, a few times a year, huge one, purge, 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 purge your closet. I laid out the purging rules in the 10 ways to dress better video that I did previously. But if you want a shortcut, you don't want to watch the whole video, just ask yourself 2 questions. Ask yourself, would I buy this today? And would I wear this in front of someone whose opinion I really care about, who I care so much what they think of me? If the answer to either of those questions is no, either donate or sell the item, or just do the Marie Kondo method, close your eyes and hold it, and she says, does this spark joy? And if it sparks joy, keep it. If it doesn't, toss it. And I'm not talking about sentimental joy, like, oh, someone gave it to me. Like when you see it and you feel it, do you want to wear it? Are you proud of it? That's what I mean. Because the more clutter there is in your closet, the easier it is for you to keep reaching for the same visible items that you probably just did laundry and you see it, you just keep wearing it and wearing it and wearing it. It's also easy to think you don't have cute things and keep buying things that you don't need or that you have similar items. Or just keep resorting to bad fashion because it's convenient, like this dumb sweatshirt I've had for so long. I have no excuse for keeping it. It says noir on it in fuzzy black letters. If you see me wearing it, just slap my face. Just kidding. Don't do that, I won't take well to it. But I think I finally have to sunset this sweatshirt because my cat put his feet claws through it while I was carrying him around. He didn't mean to hurt me, he was just trying to bounce off of me. I just want to clear his name so you don't think he's a jerk. I think it might be time to get rid of that sweatshirt, but it will leave a hole in my wardrobe wherein I have to wear other things, and that's probably a blessing in disguise. So stop reaching for that same comfy thing and don't wear an ugly uniform every day like me. I know it's time for me and this sweatshirt to break up because I literally do laundry just to get it back. I think I feel lousy every time I wear it, so the solution to something like that is to just cut the cord. If you have that t-shirt that you always wear because it's so comfy, but every time you wear it, you're like, I am disgusting, get rid of that t-shirt right now. Just outsmart yourself, get rid of it, it's out of your reach. Next time you grasp for it, you'll feel an empty space in your wardrobe, and that's fine, and you'll move on. So that's all for style, and I wanna leave you with the golden rule of personal upkeep. Any commitment you make, no matter what it is, has to be something that you can follow up on and you can follow through with. For example, if you want colored nails, pick a polish regimen that you can maintain. Thou shalt not walk around with extremely chipped or grown out nails. If you commit to something that you cannot remove at home, such as acrylic or dip powder, unless you are comfortable using a Dremel, those little rotating drills, then make sure that you're the kind of person that will faithfully go to the salon every 2 weeks when they grow out to get them redone, and make sure your schedule's free enough that if one falls off, you can make an appointment the next day and go. And if you're like me and you can't, pick something that you can follow through on. For example, I do my own gel nails every 2 weeks. Last week I did them, they already chipped, so I redid them yesterday. Sometimes you have to do that. If you think that you're not going to keep up with your nails, but you wanna have them done, select colors that are really, really close to your skin tone so there's minimal contrast when they're super grown out. Same, I mentioned your hair before. If you're coloring grays, make sure that every 6 weeks that appointment is already scheduled. If you use self-tanners, we all know that they do not fade as evenly as they should. So when they start fading, or you get that lighter hole in your elbow and the rest of your arm is orange or brown from the tanner, just commit that if you're gonna put it on, you're gonna take it off when it needs to be taken off. You're gonna exfoliate it off and moisturize your skin, and if you wanna do it again, go for it. But anything you do cosmetically needs to be cared for properly. Don't get eyelashes and wait for them to fall off, you know? That's glue on your eye. Make sure that you're being a responsible adult and you know how to care for the thing that you committed to. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you guys came up with some fun aesthetic commitments for 2021. And I just want to see you all feeling your most beautiful and most fulfilled this year. So if you have anything that you want to let me know that you do, any helpful rituals, or maybe even just your goals, please let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, as I post a new video almost every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's all for today. More talk to come soon. Bye for now.